All right, by the power of Grayskull.
Wait, I thought it was Thundercats. Man, I messed up. Wrong 80s cartoon.
Wrong 80s cartoon because I love
But
that
we're not
Thundercats
doing
show.
a cartoon, so I guess I'll be okay.
I mean, like, to this day, there's no live action Thundercats movie, right?
Yeah, that was why.
Is what?
Why? I
I
mean, come on.
don't
I mean,
know. I mean,
you watched Thundercats, right?
yeah, I watched Thundercats.
Matter of
Well,
fact, actually, I owned more Thundercats stuff than I did He-Man stuff. I
well, I,
almost didn't know He-Man.
well, I watched He-Man when I was a little boy in Hong Kong, so I don't remember any of it, but I do remember
But you did have the
toys.
figures.
Yeah, I
But
have
you
the
did have the
figures.
figures. You had
Yeah,
the figures. All right.
I did.
So yeah,
Did-
I mean, like I said, I think my brother did more. Maybe had a few He-Man. I don't remember if we. I think we did own He-Man. I know we owned Lionel from Thundercats because he got
No,
decapitated.
right. But then, like, well, you was.
Oh, I did have the castle, Grayskull Castle.
Oh, you did? Wow, that's pretty nice.
Oh well, here's the thing though. I traded that X-wing to get it.
Really?
Yeah, I traded some kid. I got this Star Wars X-wing. I don't really need it. How about you give me that castle and I'll give you this X-wing?
Wow, that's funny. I wonder if, like, nowadays, like, I don't know what my parents would think. I know what I would think if Ethan or Ryan, like, one of my boys, traded a big toy for something.
Oh, let me tell
another
you,
toy.
my parents weren't happy about it. I thought I got a great deal because I'm like, I got this skull, I got a castle. I mean,
Yeah.
all my Star Wars and my GI Joes can live in this castle. Only one dude could fly the TIE fighter. I'm at the
The X-wing.
X-wing fighter. So I'm no, I kept
Oh,
my
that's
TIE fighter.
funny.
I was given my TIE
Oh,
fighter.
I know you like the TIE Fighter better.
Yeah, well, come on, it's a little more. It's a nicer car. It's like, do you want a Honda or a Porsche? I mean,
Oh,
I don't care.
depends.
Take that however you want to. I mean, it's not like I say, it's not the Millennium Falcon. I wouldn't ever give the Millennium Falcon
Yeah.
away either.
That's different.
But anyhow, yeah, it's Masters of the Universe. It's not even a He-Man.
It's not
in the Masters
He-Man.
of
It's
the
not
Universe.
like the cartoon. It says He-Man and the Masters of the
Yeah.
Universe.
And I saw this in the theater.
Oh, really? Back in '87.
87 saw it in the theater. It seems like it was well, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it is a
It
long
seems
time
even
ago.
further back again because I couldn't remember the movie. I remember it being good.
Did you like it this time around?
Actually, I didn't have a problem with it this time around. to be
Okay,
honest
so
with you.
this is my first
Oh
time
no,
watching
let me
this.
let me put it this way. It's not a
Okay.
good movie. It's not a good movie.
It's
But
not
it's
a
not a
good
horrible.
movie.
Oh, it's not a horror movie. It
No.
most definitely isn't like my memories of Howard the Duck.
Oh, well, this is not the worst movie. I would watch it again, right? It's not like Howard the Duck. I wouldn't watch it again. But this
Yeah,
one, I would
Howard
watch
Duck,
it.
I
It's
can't
almost
do
like
it.
a guilty pleasure.
Well, this is the thing. It's like I remember Howard the Duck being good, and I watched it again. It's horrible. Remember this being good, but I think what sold this movie, I can't hardly remember anything in the movie but the ending. The
Ooh, okay.
ending's what got me because it does time travel.
Hey, so
which-
this is a time travel. This is part of our time travel.
actually,
theory.
that's the funny thing is this isn't a time travel movie. It just
No.
has a time travel element as a gift.
So let's talk about the ending real quick, okay? We know we're
Okay.
always full of spoilers. Up until the very end, I have no idea that Key is capable of doing that. Because
Yeah,
if
I
the
don't either,
Keys
but
are able to do that, right? They could just stun the whole movie to be over in 10 minutes.
Well, maybe there's a lot of stuff to it that we don't understand in the story.
Oh, you know
that
what?
They
Maybe-
they can't just
What is that
you know
character's name? Gildor, right?
yeah Gildor.
Gildor, like maybe he makes some
We'll go with
modifications
Gildor.
since then.
He
You
may
know?
have. I mean, they're traveling back, and they just like I can travel you wherever time you want now.
Yeah, Gildor, yeah.
So, boom.
So I guess in a way back then where they thought about it is, hey, let's try to have a happy ending for the people on Earth.
Yeah, let's just give them a happy ending.
Right? And I was surprised because last movie we did was Flight of the Navigator, which I have Sarah Jessica Parker, right? And this movie has Courteney Cox.
Well, it has a lot of people though.
Well, it has a lot of
It's
people. Frank
yeah,
Langella,
Courtney Cox.
Langella, yeah, plays
Yeah, he's
Skeletor.
Skeletor. Plus, you got Dolph Lundgren, and then I forgot what's the boyfriend to Courtney Cox. What's his name? I should know his name.
It's a Charlie, right?
Yeah, Charlie. No, it's not Charlie.
Barry Livingston. No, that's not it.
No, it's not Charlie. It's the other dude. What's his name? I should know his name because he's on Star Trek. He's Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, he is.
Vincent Paris. Yeah, he's the.
No, that's Charlie's
ham-
the guitar
yeah,
owner.
yeah. Charlie was that bum that owned the guitar shop.
Ian Strickland was in the movie.
Yeah, it's Strickland from Back to the Future too. He had a big role in this movie.
Is it Robert Duncan McNeill?
Yes,
Yeah.
Robert Duncan McNeill.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
in
he
Star Trek
plays.
Voyager.
Yeah, he plays the helmsman for the Voyager, Starship Voyager.
Oh.
I remember when I saw this, I didn't know that who it was. I knew the name. I saw the name. I was like, I can't place the name. And then I saw that kid.
Okay.
I kept thinking, I know this guy. I know this guy.
Courteney
But
Cox
with all the
is
hair,
87.
it's
yeah,
like,
with the hair,
it's
the
so
mullet.
different.
You know, when I first watched
But
this,
Strickland, Strickland straight off.
Strickland, basically, this actor acted the same. So I guess he was a George Clooney of the 80s.
Yeah, I guess he was.
It's like the way he talks is the same.
He's way too serious.
I need to see him in a different line, like the different characters and say lines differently, you know?
Yeah, well, I don't want to go to those movies.
So far, these are the only two, well, I guess 3-4 movies spectrum, but these are the only two movies I've seen that actor in.
But since we're going ahead and doing this, and we're going all over the actors, and we're not even talking about the ending like we're about to, we might as well just go. Get this out of the way. The skull face.
Yeah.
I thought the skull face is awesome.
No, so the makeup and the costume design looks very good on everyone. Okay.
Yeah, especially Skeletor's mask.
Skeletor looks really good. That's what I would expect. Like the real first, kind of like the MCU nowadays. Like, you know, on the cartoon and the comic books, like, they can only use so many colors. But when you bring that to real life, right, like, okay, now that's exactly what I expect them to look like. Not like a
But I also want to point out that mask has been in Star Trek Next Generation. It's a foe that Worf fights. He has a training he's got a training program on the holodeck.
Yeah. That's
the mask the monster wears. He keeps. So basically, Worf has beat Skeletor twice. I think he probably beat him more than twice, but anyhow, that's pretty cool. So that's the other Star Trek connection. But also, there's one more Star Trek connection.
Ooh, go do tell.
The lady that plays Courteney Cox's mom.
Oh yeah,
she's Captain Kirk's mom.
No,
Chris Pine's real mom.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
I had no idea.
Mom. I didn't either until I saw it. I was like, "Wow."
You know, she has also played a mom in Friends for Monica and Ross.
No, oh, did she?
Yeah, she did. That's the same actress.
Because the lady, it's the no, it's not the same actress. Not the lady. The lady that was.
I'm sorry, the sorceress.
The sorcerer is the mom.
The
sorceress. Yeah, that's the sorcerer.
Oh, that's Chris Pine's mom.
Yeah, the mom that plays the Earth, the human mom that passed away, and then all of a sudden is back alive. Yeah, she is. There's real live mom.
Oh, I had no idea.
So,
well, that's a really good Easter egg for me.
That's pretty good. That's pretty amazing.
Wow. So let's talk about the ending.
Yeah.
So this cosmic key, they have the ability of sending the person. I thought, when they do the portal thing, right? From what I've seen in this movie, it's just like, hey, a wormhole that you go to the other side.
Yeah.
They never once hinted that, like, hey, I could take you back to the past at any given time.
Well, this little guy, he's kind of doesn't give a lot of information anyways. I mean, he just kind of, hey, by the way.
In a way, it feels like it's very end game. Like, hey, we could do whatever we want. We just open this, right? And then we could go to any space and time. That's it. You don't have to question it. Again, this is a movie from the 80s. We decided that, hey, back in the 80s, you don't need logic. Okay?
Well, you really don't need logic unless you're sitting with Mr. Spock. So
they were in New Jersey, right?
Was that New Jersey? I thought it was California.
No. I saw 2 different reviews on this movie. They based this in New Jersey. I'm like, I guess. I mean, I have no idea how He-Man is connected to Earth, but I guess they have to write the script, right? I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not, but they somehow in the script they connected it to Earth.
Yeah, well, the only reason they did this is because they save on money.
Oh, so that way they can.
They make this. Yeah, they do all the stuff on the planet, whatever they're from, Endor or
Eternia.
Whatever the planet. Eternia. I'm sorry, Eternia. That would have cost them a lot. I mean, come on, just Castle Grayskull and all that stuff. They cost them a lot. So they're like, well, we'll just do it on Earth, and it saves them a lot of money. Because you got we got to point out, this movie was actually supposed to be Spider-Man.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh,
well, Yeah, well, they're going to make a Spider-Man movie. This company's called Canon.
Yeah, Canon. I read about that. It was this movie.
They did low budget.
4.
Yeah, they did low budget movies for the longest time. They decided, hey, let's go mainstream. Let's build, and we're going to do Spider-Man. And then I thought, well, we really don't have enough money to do Spider-Man, so we'll cut the budget in half, and we'll make Masters of the Universe, and we'll make Superman: The Quest for Peace.
Yeah.
and with the great profits we're gonna make on this, then
you can fund Spider-Man.
Oh. And both these movies bombed.
Yeah, Superman 4 bombed and this movie bombed.
Which this movie is actually probably better than Superman 4. You think?
I don't remember Superman 4 enough to make a good opinion or decision.
We should watch it and see, so we can go.
Yeah, when we do Superman, we'll compare it back to Masters of the Universe, okay? But then, you know what Dolph Lundgren remind me of? He remind me of that villain from Superman 4, though, because I think it's the hair.
Yeah, they were alike. There was a lot of things probably alike if we were to go compare them against each other. They're almost written by the same people, probably.
But then I also read, like, I don't know if you read the same thing, that like they were going to make a sequel to Masters of the Universe. They have the costumes ready, but then they decide they couldn't go through with it, and then it made a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie called Cyborg, I think.
Yeah, they made Cyborg. They made a bunch of other movies, but the problem is they realized after that they didn't have enough money to keep going. To
keep going to Masters.
Because they were going to do Spider-Man too. They decided to go ahead and make a sequel to this movie and Spider-Man. They were going to go ahead and do it anyways. They couldn't do it, so they had to axe the Spider-Man, and then they just went ahead to axe this, and then they just started making low-budget movies again. And then they just couldn't survive. They never were able to recoup the profits to fix their mistake with the Superman and all the other stuff.
Because like you said, they didn't make any profits, right? During this movie, I thought Dolph Lundgren's lines were duped over.
They wanted to, but they didn't.
They didn't. They were going to let Dolph Lundgren trying to do the lines without his accent, but they didn't have time or the money, right? So like, hey, whatever they shot was it.
But that's the thing. They cut a lot of stuff out, and then they had to make a lot of adjustments. But I'm like, with the adjustments they did and stuff, it was all right.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's not.
But I wonder if how many people knew this was a He-Man movie. Because when I went and saw it at the theater, I don't know if I remember it being a He-Man movie or not. I know I went there and then it was like, oh, this is a He-Man movie. Well, and I was impressed.
With the names like Masters of the Universe, you would.
Well, you knew it was Masters in the Universe, but didn't say He-Man in Masters of the Universe.
Does it have to say He-Man?
Well, apparently not.
So since we brought that up, right? Isn't He-Man the Masters of the Universe?
No, that's the whole story is about the Masters of the Universe. Anybody that holds that castle, because that deal is the Master of the Universe.
Oh, okay.
So the whole story is about the toy, because they come out with the toy line, and each one of these people could have been the Master of the Universe. But then they're like, well, we're going to make a cartoon, and we're going to make He-Man the main character now.
Oh.
But in the movie, they're like, well, he's the guy that works there, and they got Men of Arms, Tila, and all them other folks. Which, like I said, I don't remember most of them, but I sure do remember Tila. A lot's changed. Like, that's the thing. I didn't have that many toys. I think my brother may have had He-Man.
Let me tell you something.
And I may have had one of the guys.
Well, you were big into G.I. Joe, right?
I was into G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was my thing. So, and all I had was probably a He-Man coloring book.
I do like G.I. Joe, obviously. I mean, I do remember He-Man. But
yeah, G.I. Joe was just better.
And I was reading.
The figures were smaller, but they had machine guns. I mean, I don't care. They could have killed you. They could kill you, man.
I was watching the Australian guy, right? Review this movie. Like, the 10 things you didn't know. He was one of them is saying like Dolph Lundgren didn't really want to do this movie because he thought like, man, this is his first starting role. Yeah. Because he was in Rocky and he was in a 007 movie.
Yeah.
And so this was his first starting role. He
was in a 007 movie.
Yes.
Which movie?
It's just a cameo though. I can't remember. But he did talk about he's just a little cameo in the 007 movie.
I don't remember him being in a 007.
His second role was the Russian in the Rocky movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then it came to this. He thought this. Oh, I love that line. And then his first starting role, and he thought he's not gonna get any jobs after this.
Well, here's the problem though. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Right, but then at the same time, right when Frank Langella, right?
Well, he wanted to be Skeletor.
Oh, he did because his son is a huge fan of He-Man.
But I think that's why
is so much better in this movie than obviously Dolph Lundgren's.
I mean, this role to me, Skeletor was one of the best characters in the movie. We didn't get enough, even though he didn't get enough screen time. But I'm like, it's because he wanted this role.
I thought Evil Lynn was pretty good too. The lady who
Evil Lynn was good. A lot of the characters are actually good. Dolph Lundgren though, he didn't really. I mean, all the characters, there was too many characters in a way. Not everybody got this much screen time. I guess they cut them all up in a way.
I don't know how they just chop it all up and make the movie make sense, and then that's it. All right.
But I'm like I said, the movie was okay. It wasn't a horrible movie.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, like you said, it was no Mulholland Drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't think this movie was really good, but since it was directed by so and so, I think it was excellent because that's what I'm telling all my friends. Because who knows really what was going on, if it was good or not. I love those movies where everybody doesn't want to admit that the movie's bad, so they just go ahead and go, "Oh, it's brilliant," because we don't know what's going on. It's so brilliant that
because of you.
Yeah, it's so brilliant because we don't know what's going on. We got to do that movie.
We do, because I love. Well, I guess we will talk about it then. But one of my favorite parts of Mulholland Drive is when you and I trying to explain that to Cody. I don't know what is going on.
Cody's probably sat there just tell me the movie sucks, because that's what it sounds like.
All right, but so back to He-Man. So what was I talking about? The Skeletor thing, right? His acting was the best, and I like Evil Lynn. And when I was watching Minty Comedic Arts, right, he was saying that Evil Lynn's wardrobe, it was too tight and it's very restrictive on her movements, right? She got bruises from it, and like,
I think a lot of the villains had problems, because Blade, the character Blade, he's actually the one that taught everybody to do sword fighting, because he's a sword fighter.
Oh, okay.
But they had to modify his makeup, his suit, everything. It was just too heavy, and they had his skin couldn't breathe. It could have affected his health. So
really,
and his suit was heavy too.
What was Blade the big one, the tall one? Like the first one they introduced, right?
Yeah, he's the bald guy. Yeah,
because it's really funny when they introduced these, like, I don't know, bounty hunters, like first team or Fall City team. It reminded me of that part from Dodgeball. Like when Ben Stiller is introducing his dodgeball team, he's like Blade, Laser, Taser.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be like that. I feel like a lot of this film, right, influences just little scenes from other movies I've seen.
No, I'm sure it has, because most of those people that made those movies were young kids when
young kids that watched like He-Man,
But the funny thing is how many people actually saw this thing, because it didn't do very good. But it seems like a lot of people saw it.
A lot of people. I think my sister have seen this.
But like I said, the only thing that influenced me that I can remember is the ending where they time travel, because it's time travel. And by that time you're already impressed by time travel because you saw Back to the Future.
So I want to say I want to talk to you about that, because you told me to watch this because we're trying to do the time travel deal.
Yeah, and plus we're also doing 80 movies.
And when you in the 80s movie, 2 birds with 1 stone. So when you told me, like, hey, let's do this, there's a time travel element at the end, right? If you didn't tell me about the time travel element, I would have been more surprised.
Oh, really? Because I'm sorry I ruined it for you.
No, because like it was way until the very end, I was like, how is this a time travel thing?
Okay.
Because throughout the whole movie, it's like, oh, it's the key a way for them to go back in time, but they didn't do any of that until the very end.
Yeah, well, I do like it because they're going through the portal. They saved the day. They help save the day, and they're going through the portal. And of course, that guy's like, "Oh, by the way, I can send you back any time." And she's like, "No, don't send us back there. We don't care." As they're walking through the portal, she's like, "Wait," and then boom, she wakes up, and everything's fixed. Her whole life's fixed.
So several things I want to point out. This is a huge '80s movie, right? They had to get the first when they got to the castle, they had to get out of there. So they used the key for the portal to go through, right?
Yeah.
But immediately after they go back, like, hey, we need you to go back and now we can attack them. I'm thinking, like, you guys have the same amount of people the first time, and that's why you had to leave. So for some reason, if you go back, you could defeat them now. I didn't understand that. And I was like, hey, you know what? I don't care. It's an 80s movie.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking they thought something else. They probably thought they'd sneak in again.
Yeah.
But anyways, I want to point out the neat thing was all the bad guys, all the villains, the black suit things. Those guys are awesome. They look like Cobra, from G.I. Joe. They did,
right? And I read that they're not really human or hinged with like a living thing, right? They're supposed to be robots.
That way, because you couldn't kill any characters because they needed to sell toys.
Right, they couldn't have He-Man kill the characters, exactly.
Yeah,
but he could
the bats from G.I. Joe.
Bats from G.I. Joe or the Dark Trooper from The Mandalorian.
But it also does remind you of Star Wars too a little bit, like you said.
It does.
I mean, because they're using lasers and they got swords and they're blocking lasers blasts with swords.
Like you and I don't remember He-Man. I don't remember He-Man using laser sword. I mean,
I'm pretty sure they did it. I remember some of the characters had guns. Oh, some of the figures did because I think there's one character you could spin him around and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because as a matter of fact, my brother actually did have. I think he had a He-Man and there's this cat. He rode this little green cat with stripes on it. And my brother had that. I remember that now.
I forgot I don't know what the animal's called because, like, when I watch He-Man,
it doesn't matter. I mean, even in the G.I. Joe world, it wasn't real.
I wonder if the Netflix show is pretty good because they released.
Yeah, they redid it, and He-Man's supposed to be dead in the show. So
Whoa, really?
Oh, I'm sorry to ruin that. Yeah, but he's not. He-Man is not alive in this show.
So is that still called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe?
Well, I don't know what it's called, but it's like
just
the
Masters
aftermath.
of the Universe.
It's supposed to take place way after the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe we watched on TV.
Oh.
But he finally got killed or something or died.
Oh man, that's interesting. Now I want to watch that now.
I read the whole deal. I never saw it. I read all about it, and I thought he's dead. Do I really want to watch this? But I think he has kids. I'm sure it is. It's written by Kevin Smith.
Oh, that's right. It is.
So, I mean, I'm not saying everything that Kevin Smith does is good, but
yeah, it's not.
But he did come up with a turd monster, so I could say, why not?
The turd demon. Oh, well, the poop demon. I guess we have to say.
Okay, the poop demon. I'm sorry. What turd? Turd's not that word.
Hey, I don't know if you noticed, right? But it was not until I watched one of the critics. It's called Nostalgia Critic. He noticed that every time they shoot the robots, right, those dog troopers or whatever, they always get shot in the crotch. But it wasn't until he said that, then he played those scenes, right? Why? There's a lot of like either really lower abdomen or in the crotch area.
I first saw you shot in the crotch, so I'm curious why this guy just like focused in on that.
Well, I think it's because he's trying to find the jokes, right? But then like they just right there, and then he was talking about Skeletor, right? Right he looks like John McCain if he was really old. It's when he put the pictures side by side. I'm like, okay, I thought Skeletor looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
He-Man is the only one that didn't really look like He-Man because his hair is long, right? But not like with the bangs, just like He-Man. I mean, like, no one's gonna look good like that.
I think he passed for He-Man.
Well, yeah, because it's Bill, right? And he's a huge guy.
Which is funny because I was thinking about that, because when they go to Earth, with Courteney Cox is running away from all those monsters.
Yes,
and then, of course he grabs her, and I'm like, what? Of course he's gonna freak out. This is just weird. Some dude in his underwear just jumping out of boxes to grab some girl
and a cape and leather straps. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she's gotta be thinking, really, oh my god. There is some freako I grabbed a hotel room. There's a bunch of monsters chasing me.
See, I thought it was just a costume party. If anybody went across them, I'm like, hey, that's pretty good costume.
Not a bunch of monsters are chasing you and some naked dude. A dude in his underwear jump out and go, hey!
Yeah, I thought it's weird until like they have no other human interaction except for the main characters.
Yeah. It's weird.
Right? It's like weird. What's the other guy's name of his daughter? Like they didn't have any.
Oh, that's Man of Arms.
Man of Arms, yeah.
And Tila.
Because no one ran across them, and they look like they're wearing some kind of alien futuristic stuff.
Yeah, they're wearing some weird stuff.
And then no one.
But again, it was the '80s, and I guess if you watched MTV in the '80s, they looked normal.
They probably look like normal. Yeah, and then they never come across anybody. They were able to eat ribs.
Yeah. Because they had to sneak around. They actually played the game right. When you're playing that video game where you got to sneak around, but me and you always just start shooting people.
Well, I don't. I like the sneaking.
Oh, I forgot. You do like the sneak thing. I eventually get bored, and then I just start breaking rules. I just start blowing up stuff. Yeah, I'm just like, whatever. I'll just blow all these people up. They can sound an alarm. I don't care. I'll run for the gate.
So how did you play Batman Arkham Asylum?
Oh, actually, I just started beating the tar out of people.
No, I got so good, right, that people freak out. I love seeing that.
Well, people freaked out when they showed me because I beat the tar out of everybody. They're like, there's already 5 bodies laying here. They're supposed to get freaked out.
Because what is it? Metal Gear Solid, Splinter Cell, and Batman.
Metal Gear Solid, you put a box over yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm really good at sneaking. Well, it's so great because I like to scare people. Which is a skill that my Ryan learns from me, too. He likes to scare people, too.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't have the patience for it.
Well, I thought they thought the cosmic key was some kind of synthesizer, like the musical.
No, everybody's like, "What is this?" Oh yeah, I've seen this before. It's Japanese.
It's really funny when they locked in on the location, right? When Evil Lynn they ran around the second time. I like that modern technology where they can see what happened. That technology
that was pretty cool. Well, that's the thing. I always had an idea. You know how you hold your iPhone up over, let's say, foreign letters, and it turns to English or something like that.
Google Translate.
It would be neat if they knew they could, like, you hold it up over, go to a town, like a town that's been around since the turn of the century,
Oh.
And you roll it over the deal, and it show you what the building looked like in the old days. And the cars, when the cars drove by, they'd be like Model Ts going back the road. Every time a car comes by, it just turned into a Model T.
Oh, that's cool. It's kind of like they did that in Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Or something.
Yeah, they did. They've done it in other shows where they got to see the past. But the thing is, if you knew what the town was supposed to, if you put the information of a town, like say my town, and you know what it looked like then, and you know what year that they want to see, you can make everything turn to a certain deal because that's what they do already. They already have that technology for the letters.
They do.
So when you aim, like let's say you go to town in the 50s, let's say there's something not there anymore. You hold it over, it shows a water tower that was in the 50s. You turn it and you see, like you see a 2022 Honda drive by, but when you put it over, it's a Cadillac from the 1955.
Oh, that looks really good. Have you seen that video? What they did, like a video from the 1920s? They put color in it.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, like
I'm sure I've seen stuff from then that they put colored in, but no, I haven't seen what.
But I like the idea though. Like that would be.
Yeah, think
cool.
about that. The only problem is you might get ran over because you're so busy walking around with the thing. But
but you can stand on the street.
I think it could be done. It would be hard to do it for. But they could pick certain locations where you can go, and a thing would come on, and you raise your phone.
I was gonna say like certain location, like hey, this corner, right? If you hold your phone and you connect to whatever hotspot Wi-Fi that Google has, then you can do it.
Yeah, and you turn in this whole area, you see it like a certain area.
Oh, that's
Disney
cool.
could do that.
Yeah, Disney.
Go to and it show you what the Disney park looked like at certain periods of time, or it could even go all the way back before it was there and show you the swamp if you're in Florida or the farmland.
I'm so glad that from that scene, right, you thought of that and like that blew my mind.
Somebody can do that. Anybody can use it. You don't have to pay me for it. Just do it.
You know, I feel like that technology in that movie, right? They can only probably use it for that scene. They could probably do it anywhere. Like, how cool would it be? Like, hey, were they here? And then they just put this like, no, they weren't here, so let's go.
Yeah, they can really do that. And that's probably how they do all that stuff on their planet. That's how they hunt down people.
Ooh.
Because see, on their deal, they use. It's funny that they use all this high technology and magic. I would settle for either one of them.
It's one in this, but they do it both together.
Yeah, I like magic. I take magic, but or high technology.
This is iPhone before iPhones.
I know. Yeah, it's like, hey, we invented these also laser weapons, and we have all this technology, but we're still gonna carry a sword around.
Sometimes that's what I thought about Jedi weapons.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. It doesn't make sense. Even in Jedi, it's like, yeah, we're going to keep the old ways, even though y'all got the new ways.
It's like Indiana Jones and the whip.
We should just say it. It's basically the Jedi are like the Amish that accepted lower forms of technology, not the high forms of technology.
Yeah.
Yes, they're the Amish. They're the Amish in Star Wars.
I like that technology. Also, obviously,
I would say we insulted some Amish people, but since you can't watch TV if you're Amish,
I was going to say like they would never find out.
Exactly. We are high technology now. They're like, here, look at these idiots. They should be building a barn.
Well, what else? Well, I like that technology. The key was pretty cool.
The key was pretty cool.
The costume that Skeletor changing into.
Oh, you're like the king, or was it the emperor or the king?
Yeah, whatever that is, yeah. Like
God. They called it the God.
The God, the higher power of Skeletor.
Yeah, this God Skeletor deal. Hey, the neat thing about this movie, I guess I don't think I saw this at the theater when I saw it.
Oh, really?
But did you watch all the way through the credits?
No.
Oh, then you didn't see this like I didn't when I did a long time ago. I watched the credits. At the end of the credits, there's a scene.
Well, no.
Skeletor's face comes up out of this bubbling water. He's like, I forgot what he exactly says, but he's like, basically, he said, "I'm going to be back. I'm coming back."
Oh, so it's like a Marvel. We know this counts as a superhero movie.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
It's a toy movie,
but it's categorized under superhero genre, I think.
Yeah, but I don't consider this a superhero.
It's a 1987 American superhero film.
Oh, it was a toys movie. We know it.
It's how long was it? Almost 2 hours, right?
But anyways, after the credits, it has it. I bet you nobody even saw that, and that's probably why he never actually made it back. Well, if you don't see it, it can't be. If you don't see it, it couldn't be true.
No, you're right. I thought even if without that scene, right, they could still make a sequel. Like the funding was there.
They could make another sequel.
You know what's another scene that
now they can go ahead.
I thought influenced another movie is how when Skeletor falls down that hole, right? Which I also want to mention. Who is the architect that make all these in Empire Strikes Back, in this movie, in Phantom Menace? Why is there a structure with like a long tunnel that goes down where someone could fall down there and die? Okay, if I was if I was a bad guy of any movie, I'm going to make sure my structure like, hey, can you make sure this is the ground floor? So that's if I fall down, right, I just hit the ground like 3 feet. Okay, I don't want to fall down any.
We had a discussion, but I'm going to say since there's two different universes, wasn't the same architect.
I forgot Han Solo also fell down like a hole. Like, why are these structures so high?
Han Solo jumped.
Like, why are these structures so high?
I would have jumped to get out of that movie too.
But like, you understand what I'm saying, right? Why
I understand what you're saying. Why is it there? But then there's so much stupid crap.
Because when he fell, it looks just like Darth Maul falling.
But we already pointed out he didn't die.
Well, you pointed out he didn't die, but then that's what you get. Like, you thought he died because
Yeah.
He-Man didn't actually kill him, but
Yeah, he just showed him. Nobody died. That's the thing. You should have already known he didn't die because nobody dies in this movie.
The people who had died was already dead to begin with, like Courteney Cox's parents.
Yeah,
in the movie.
Yeah, and they came back, so
I know
they could have made action figures out of them.
So I didn't know how long her parents died before, so she's older than she's supposed to be in that timeline. Now let's talk about that now. Since I opened up that door, shouldn't there be another Courteney Cox in that timeline? What was her name anyway?
Should, but there's magic too. There should be magic either. When you got magic, that's just those time travel logic.
It's like Days of the Future Past thing. This travel through time in the mind.
Yep. So basically, they just probably woke up in their bodies on the day before.
Whoa. Well, not before. Right? Her parents died a while.
But they went back in time before her parents died, and they were in those bodies.
She went on the day.
Yeah, so her consciousness probably just went into.
Which is messed up. She changed, so they created another timeline.
They actually did create it. Well, in this one though, if their consciousness went just went in the body and they're aware of everything, but
so then
nobody else in the world is. But technically, they should have created another timeline when they went back. There's a timeline where this dude and Courteney Cox is missing, so there's never going to be a Friends TV show. But in this other one, she saved her parents and was able to make friends. So. Apparently she did break up with Tom Paris, but I want to tell you though, this is what happens. Okay. He falls down the warp hole, goes farther in the future, and becomes a Starfleet officer. But he gets caught breaking the rules, so he gets kicked out of Starfleet. And then of course Janeway comes and hires him, and he becomes the helmsman for the Voyager. And Courteney Cox is long dead because that's like 200. That's like 400 years in the future.
Has Courteney Cox been in Star Trek that you know of?
To my knowledge, no.
Oh, okay.
But Terry Hatcher has.
Oh, I know Terry Hatcher have.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
It's like, she ran
the transporter.
Like that
connection that you put all that.
Yeah, we had to draw it out. That was like a 400 years timeline we just put out there.
I like that, like the time travel aspect is him and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
They get to go back at the same time.
I mean, it's like they got rewarded. At the end, it got fixed.
So it's kind of like Back to the Future.
But as a little kid, you see that, and it's like, her life's horrible, and all she had to do is do time travel, and it fixed it.
Yes, it fixed her parents.
But we already tried to point out in the last the movie we talked about, Fly the Navigator, time travel doesn't really fix anything.
No, it just creates a new line.
It just cuts another timeline. I mean, even in, what is it?
That's right. You hear us Back to the Future?
Endgame. Yeah,
time travel doesn't fix anything.
Even in Endgame, it didn't really fix anything. I mean, even Iron Man points it out. They're not really fixing anything. I mean, they're winning in a way. They're fixing their world a little bit and bringing everybody back.
Yeah, just bringing everybody back. That's it.
They're yanking stuff out of other worlds and changing. And basically, what Tony Stark wanted to say is, all you are is creating more timelines now.
Yep.
And you're eventually going to have to deal with what comes out of these other timelines.
Ooh, and we're in that phase now.
We're in that phase now because you got to think, But one of the teams got lucky. One of the Avenger teams never has to face Thanos because Thanos jumped out of that timeline and was killed in another timeline.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a timeline where there's no Thanos. That way all the Avengers get to live. Black Widow won't ever be killed. Stark won't ever be killed. They'll never have to go look for the Infinity Stones because there's no Thanos to go get them. Because he is killed. And the Gamora from that one is the Gamora that lives in the new timeline. She's gone too. So Star-Lord could never fall in love with Gamora in that timeline.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
she doesn't exist now.
Wow. So
a bunch of the movies we watch do not exist or to go the way that we saw now.
Yeah, it would be. Oh man.
So there's one time. So there's one giant timeline where
maybe that's why they have another season of What If.
Yeah, maybe, but
I mean,
we could have. What if though doesn't never touches the alternate timelines? No. What if always hits
a new,
even other timelines that, or what if this happened? Wow. But everything in these timelines is an alternate time because of the things that the Avengers did themselves.
It sucks that I wish that we make this movie with a time travel aspect now.
But Masters of the Universe?
Yeah, Masters, because
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the way it is. It gave you the thing at the end. You got the little prize at the end. You open the Cracker Jack box. There's your little compass.
Hey, since we're bringing so much links between, Endgame and this, right? Skeletor is kind of like Thanos. He just asked for the key and he tried to kill Gildor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's exactly what Thanos was trying to do.
Well, he wanted to be the master of the universe. Yeah, he was going, and that's what Thanos was. Well, Thanos didn't want to be the master of the universe. Thanos
just wanted half the population gone.
He saw the world going this way. Instead of being a man that's smart enough to fix it, his idea is, we'll just kill half the universe.
Yep, that's it.
That's the thing. If it was been Tony Stark, he would have been able to fix it, where everybody would have been able to live and have what they want.
Hey, he just tried to save time.
But Thanos decided, you can't have what you want. I'll just go kill everybody and go be a farmer on some planet. So Thanos is an idiot.
Hey, man. There's a flip side to that coin, okay?
Come on. If Thanos didn't even see them time traveling to come get him.
No, he didn't, right?
No.
Well, we're not talking about Thanos right now, okay? We're talking about this.
We're talking about Skeletor. Skeletor sure didn't see that crap coming.
Skeletor's just trying to... Well, he did try to kill him.
Yeah, he did. He would.
He just didn't see.
That's the thing. The thing is, he kind of must have liked He-Man in a way because he even looked like he was grossed out by He-Man getting all beat up.
Yeah.
And then he decided, I'll kill it myself. Because he's like, I'm just so disgusted. And he's like, okay, who cares? I'll just shoot you with a laser.
It's really funny, the whip scene. Like, I guess they didn't need special effects on that red lighted glow lightsaber whip thing because, Dolph Lundgren was just acting like, I don't know when I was watching that scene. It was so funny to me. What
you're saying is Skeletor wasn't disgusted by the whipping. He was disgusted by his acting. He's like,
I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, this is horrible.
They try to cut it in a way where it looked like he's getting whipped too, but it's so funny. Then they put these scars of blood whips on him. It's so great.
I mean, a red whip's gonna hurt you.
Oh, you have the power. Can you just shoot him in the legs to make him kneel?
Well, he tried to, remember, and He-Man wouldn't get down, so.
Oh, I know. That's why they had to whip him.
That's why they had to whip him and whip it good.
I did like I didn't see that coming where, make you your slave or whatever. I thought it was funny when, Skeletor let the people live on Earth, right? Like, let them suffer. Like, hey, man, that's my planet you're talking about. Or are you just talking about New Jersey?
I mean, he said let them rot. I mean,
let them rot.
It's Earth.
Yeah, no one's
where I live. I got a big old giant castle with a big old hole in the floor. But yeah,
I did like how they solved the music thing. But they did it with the keyboard, the synthesizer.
Yeah, I knew they were eventually going to do it. You knew they were going to do this because the guy was a music guy.
Yes.
And they kept going, if we get a music guy, the whole movie they kept going, if we get a music guy, and this guy never even says it. And at the end of it goes, oh yeah, I am a music guy, by the way. Oh, you're the music guy I've been talking about the whole movie. And you're just now piped up now?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, what else did I like?
Would you like that scene where what's her name? Where Courteney Cox character is in that room and she thinks she sees her mom?
Oh, see, I didn't know Evil Lynn has that power.
I didn't either when I saw it. And the second time I saw it, I'm like, but it is kind of like, it can't be her mom.
No, I know that, yeah.
But
right away, I knew it was Evil Lynn.
Well, yeah,
I
you
don't
do
know
kind
why.
of know it, but you just kind of like, huh?
I'm like, she could have done that the whole time.
Yep. And she gets that deal. And it's like, whoops,
It's just
sorry.
like Mystique.
Yeah, she's like Mystique.
She could
So
be
this is like
anyone she want.
She could, but it's just she's in her head.
Oh, is
She
that her
puts it. She
power?
probably just. Oh, I'm sure she does. I mean, most witches have that kind of power. They can make themselves look like anybody they want. That's witches do. That's what witches do. And she's basically a witch.
I also like the name Evil Lynn. It sounds like Evelyn at the same time, but it's Evil Lynn.
Evil Lynn.
I thought they were saying
Yeah.
that with an accent. Oh,
Do you remember?
Evelyn.
Was it an action figure for that character?
I thought it was an actual character from He-Man, right?
Yeah, is it? No, I'm asking. I don't know. I don't really know all the He-Man
Yeah, I
characters.
don't either.
I just know the good ones. I know Beastman. I remember Beastman.
Sorceress
I don't remember.
was there. But Beastman. Oh, Evil Lynn is a character.
Okay.
Claw
Yeah, I don't remember an
Snake.
action figure for her. So.
You know, I don't remember the cartoon, right? I know that, like, I wonder if it's kind of like the same thing on the cartoon. They make the bad guys always kind of dumb, like Shredder and Krang.
Yeah. Well, it's like they can't ever kill anybody because it's like G.I. Joe, they fight and they fight, they fight. You never see anybody get killed.
No, right? Just
and the thing is, they couldn't even. It depended on who made the cartoon too, because there was a He-Man and She-Ra movie, I think, come out cartoon animated before on the movie screen before that, and then there was the cartoon, but the cartoon was made by somebody else.
Oh, really?
And it was made by the same people who made the G.I. Joe ones, so they couldn't shoot lasers. They had to shoot lasers because they didn't have real guns with bullets in them.
Yeah.
Because there's no such thing as lasers, but there is now. I mean, what are they gonna do? Like 30 years from now, they're like, "Oh, there's lasers now. You can't watch G.I. Joe. It's against the law."
We have to change them into walkie-talkies.
Yep. I see the Cobra out here.
Like shooting radio waves? Yeah, sure.
Yep,
why not?
we're shooting radio waves.
Doesn't get hurt, okay?
They could throw snowballs. It's okay.
Oh,
make sure there's no rocks in them.
The other scene I really liked that I thought it didn't make sense and also stupid when those I guess the Fantastic Four that the Skeletor sent the first time they were fighting in that warehouse outside the warehouse cage thing. Yeah. There was 4 of them, okay, and a whole bunch of henchmen. These 2 were like men at arms, and was her come and her daughter comes, right, and they have to retreat. And I'm like, why? There's 4 of you. They just left, man, and then like, what? So I think they used that. They did that so they could tell in the next scene, like, oh, where'd you retreat? Because they came at us. We were outnumbered. I'm like, no, you were not, liar. I was like, they were talking all badass and stuff, and then they had to retreat because 2 people showed up. There's 4 of them. Which Skeletor killed one of them. I thought that was very funny. Yeah, they killed one of them.
Well, I guess they killed him, but they didn't really kill him. So
he just disappeared, I guess.
He just disappeared.
Magic powers.
He come back because there was a toy for him made, I think.
Oh, it's got to be. Like there's always going to be a fan of any character you put out there.
Well, yeah, they could sell it. The only thing was you couldn't get a Courteney Cox action figure. But...
No Earthlings, right? It's just the creatures from Eternia.
But if you wanted to, you could find a Tom Paris action figure.
What?
Well, of course, for Star Trek Voyager, I'm sure.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like an actual one from this movie.
All you do is just say it was a He-Man toy and take off the uniform and make his hair a little bit bigger.
Oh, I feel like I want to rewatch He-Man to see. Like, I know it has nothing to do with the animated show.
No,
but I still want to check it out.
That's the thing. And I wasn't a fan, so it didn't bother me. I remember when I watched it as a kid, I was impressed with it. I liked it.
Well, this movie is made for a kid, just like The Wizard for like a big old Nintendo commercial. Now watch it like, oh man,
today it was just kind of boring, but I mean, it beats a lot of stuff that we've reviewed in the past.
Yeah,
I can't say it beats a lot of stuff, but it does beat.
Definitely those 2 movies that we always mention.
I would watch it before I watch Batman and Robin.
I would too. Okay. I would definitely watch this twice.
I don't know that I could ever see Howard the Duck again.
I think that
I should have left it. I wish I would have left Howard the Duck just a good fond memory instead of a nightmare that's revisited.
It's not a nightmare, man. It's a daymare.
It's a daymare.
So. Yeah, it's always like, this, I wouldn't categorize this as a bad movie.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay? A lot of stuff we've seen, right? It's still better than probably a lot of stuff we've seen.
Yeah.
Not even Howard the Duck or Batman and Robin.
Yeah, it's way better than. I mean, it was even better than that 4th Matrix movie.
Oh, yes. That's right. It's way better than the
anything about the fourth Matrix. People were like, "Hey, could you tell me about the fourth Matrix?" So people are like, "It sucked," and that's all I can remember about it.
I remember Doogie Howser's in it.
Oh, was he? Oh, yeah, he was.
Architect.
Oh, yeah. Well, I forgot all about that too. I just remember it sucked, and I just about erased it all.
It does suck.
It sucks so bad.
Yeah, you gotta watch John Wick to make me I still feel better about Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, matter of fact, I would almost watch Batman and Robin. I would watch Batman and Robin before I would watch.
That's really good. Batman and Robin overmatch.
Yeah, I would watch. Too. Oh yes, I would take Arnold Schwarzenegger being Mr. Freeze all day long.
All over Matrix 4. Which one? Matrix 4. Howard the Duck. Oh, look how long the silence is.
That's a hard one.
That is a hard one. We could answer it next time.
They're both so painful to watch. I might watch Howard the Duck before I watch Matrix 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I would.
I don't know.
Man, that'd both be horrible.
I would have to judge it.
I would know I'd feel so much better, though, watching Batman and Robin over those.
Oh, Batman and Robin over those, definitely. But, like...
Yes, it'd be easy.
I have to think, is the soundtrack on the Matrix 4 good?
I can't even remember the sound.
It's so funny. I have to depend on the music, not the story. Like, I have to.
Yeah. Is there anything that's good? It's like, I don't know. It's like, oh, I did 3 good movies and I intentionally made a piece of crap.
That's the movie. Like, Matrix 4 is the movie that it had to be done by someone has money and power. That's it. That's the only way.
It's like, what are y'all doing?
I mean, like, Masters of the Universe, they can't even get
That's probably the only time. That was the only time that they should have listened to the executives from Fox.
Was it Fox? Matrix was done by Fox?
I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. So now Disney holds it.
I could be wrong. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I don't really actually know.
It's Warner Brothers, I think.
Oh, it is Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, it was Warner Brothers. No Warner Brothers is such a trouble.
Oh, it's so funny. I know you were going to connect that. When I said Warner Brothers, oh my God, I opened a DC thing to ties in with the Matrix.
Well, it wasn't just DC, but yeah, it didn't help. It's like, hey, we have this one year where we're just going to be nothing but sucky movies.
Warner Brothers, they have some good movies. I mean, like the Batmans, like the Christopher Nolan Batmans.
Well, that's the thing. That's the funny thing with Warner Brothers. You always hear, oh, this movie sucked because the executives told me to do this. The executives told me to do this.
Yeah,
but on the fourth Matrix movies, they're like, all those other Matrix are good. Executives aren't going to tell you anything. I'm thinking the executives should have told you what to do. The executives are telling you, don't make this movie.
It's different on this one. Wow.
I mean, even Keanu Reeves is probably going, you know what? I shouldn't do this. But he did.
Keanu Reeves will do anything, okay?
No, well, yeah, he was. He was Bill and Ted, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, he would do a lot of John Wicks until, like, he probably can't anymore.
Well, you know, maybe they said, hey, we'll let you do Constantine #2 if you'll do this.
I would like to see that.
Everybody
I would like to see Constantine.
That's the thing, and that is DC, man. Yeah, but I guess that's not going to happen. Could though. That would be something that's not a mistake.
Yeah.
And they thought about doing it.
Yeah, I know. Constantine 2.
Yep. See, I knew it. I hit it right there.
Yeah. Constantine 2 definitely.
See, that's the thing. That's what they need to do. Warner Bros. Needs to get them a cosmic key and go back in time and fix some of their mistakes.
They need a cosmic key.
Yep. They're like, Will Wheaton. No, not Will Wheaton. I'm sorry, wrong guy.
Too bad you haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet. Deadpool 2, Deadpool did the exact same thing with that time traveler device. That's also a time travel movie.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Oh, that's the face. That's my Deadpool faces on Deadpool. So, I hate Deadpool.
Did you like the time travel aspect of this? Because the reward at the end?
I do like it because they got to go back and everything was fine for her.
So kind of like Back to the Future.
Yeah, she comes back. Yeah, but the problem is her and that other dude didn't have to go save their kids.
Oh,
they just had to say, "Hey, mom and dad, don't go on the plane."
That would be a funny parody of like people who knows Masters of the Universe really well in Back to the Future, and then Gildor come like, "No, you must come. Yeah, you fix your children." Like, what?
Yeah, what's wrong? Your kids.
Let's not do your kids, so that way we don't have to argue that time.
One of your kids flushed a He-Man figure down the toilet.
No. So what they should do is they should time travel into the Kevin Smith He-Man. It's He-Man's kids. Now the time travel makes sense.
Oh, okay.
They're able to help He-Man's, the next generation of He-Man. Yeah. Instead of their own kids, because we argue about that, like,
they could. They just tell them, hey, don't get captured by Skeletor this time, and whoop with a red whip.
Oh my god, this is just like Creed. It's not Rocky doesn't have a kid, like he has son, but he doesn't fight.
But does he get whipped with a red whip? Is that what's the thing?
Oh my god, the red.
Is there a time travel element in Creed 2?
No.
Just a shame.
Just regular stable time travel, like every minute.
Yeah, the kind we have. You want to fix your future, have kids, and they're not going to listen to you.
Talk about timeline, right? I guess I could end it with Ethan's joke that I remember. What is always in front of you, but you can't see?
Your future.
That's right. And with that, that's the end of this episode.
Oh, we're going to end it with a lame joke. I wish we had something smart to say, but I don't.
But you know what? Maybe next time.
No, I won't.
Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.